So, UCLA Bruins and the Northwestern Wildcats are meeting for best way I can describe it. They're playing in the least mediocre bowl. Yep, you heard that right. Least mediocre bowl. Which of them are the least mediocre of the Big Ten? Now, mind you, Ohio State and Oregon and several other teams are competing for who's the best. Northwestern and UCLA are competing for who's not the worst. Northwestern doesn't have a good schedule in front of them. This might be their second win and maybe the only other opportunity. They have UL Monroe next week. In all honesty, I'm not even sure they could beat UL Monroe. That is what I'm looking at. So, Northwestern, this is their one chance to get two wins. Um, in all honesty, this is the only chance that UCLA has to get a win. This is how bad this is. And Northwestern, the only team that they've beaten is Western Illinois, an FCS team, who who is currently 1-3. They're in the OBC Big South, and their two losses, one's to Illinois and one's to Northwestern. Last year, they only won 4 games. So Tim Skipper and David Braun are not exactly leading the best teams in the world. So UCLA is headed to Northwestern, and like I said, that's what it's called, the least mediocre bowl. That is what they're playing for. Who is the least mediocre of the Big Ten, and who's the most mediocre? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of to talk about on this or to describe on this one. You got two coaches who one bounces around so much that he's been an interim. This is his second time of being an interim head coach. He's been at some decent programs, but not anything amazing. And that's Tim Skipper. David Braun, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm looking at his record and I'm going, why did a Power Four conference team hire him in the way? Why did they hire him to be head coach? Northwestern, before he was at Northwestern, he was at North Dakota State, Northern Iowa, UC Davis. Yeah, Northwestern's his first time into the power, or it's into the top echelon of football, and he's all of a sudden thrown in, and he wasn't a head coach until Northwestern. So yeah, this is oh worst of the worst. So let's get into this game. Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video, and I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there. Okay. By the way, hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. Okay, UCLA, this Tim Skipper led team. Nico Iamaleava has thrown for 608 yards. He is 63.9% accurate or completion rate. Thrown 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and been sacked 6 times. So he's not good at knowing where to throw the ball. He doesn't have an offensive line that's able to actually allow him the amount of time that he needs. Now, let's stress that. He needs a certain amount of time. Even though he played under Heupel, he has to have a little bit more time than the normal person. And so they can't protect him. And yeah, he's also leading rusher, 30 carries, 139 yards. They've got 366 yards rushing total. One touchdown out of all that. Nico got it. Receiving, well, they got three touchdowns. Anthony Woods, who's a running back, Titus Makeo Adamalala, who thankfully is a wide receiver. He's got one, and Noah Fox Flores has got one. I'm not even going to give you their numbers because, yeah, the leading receiver hasn't even got a touchdown. Got a long at 21. They've got a long. Mikey Matthews has got a long at 32 yards. That's the longest anybody's ran, and only one of them was on receiving. Quasi Gilmore, leading rushers, done 21 yards. Running backs a little bit better. Nico Iamaleava had a long at 30. Anthony Woods 33. Gavian David Thomas, pardon me, whose nickname is also Jet, 32. On defense, they've got two total sacks. They've only been able to get to a quarterback. They've played an FC. Hold on a second here. Let me make sure I got this right. Nope, they have not played an FCS team. I am sorry about that. They played New Mexico. Yeah, they should have had this in the bag, but they've only got two sacks on the year. Um, four pass deflections, no interceptions. They have at least forced two fumbles and recovered two fumbles. Not like it really matters, but Isaiah Clark or Chisholm is their leading tackler. Linebacker, 37 tackles. John Bond, 35 tackles. And then the drops off. Key Lawrence, the defensive back's got 19, and Cole Martin's got 17. So it's a defense. And they're needing to step up because, well, Northwestern's not got much of an offense, but at the same time, neither do they. 608 yards through the air, but only three touchdowns. Rushing, they've got one touchdown. This is they should have at least had a chance with the talent that's on this roster. They should have had a chance against New Mexico. Yep. And if you're new to this channel, that was a 35-10 slaughter. New Mexico beat them by 25 in the Rose Bowl. So, yep, let's now take a look at Northwestern. Okay, for Northwestern, Preston Stone is 51 of 86, so 59.3% completion rate, 541 yards through the air. Woo! Three touchdowns, six interceptions. Oh, and he's been sacked six times. Here's an offense, let me tell you. Frank Covey had threw one, but didn't actually. Nobody was able to catch it. Rushing, now we got to give them credit on this. Rushing, they've got four rushing touchdowns. Uh, Caleb Kumalafi, he's got 36 carries, 150 yards, one touchdown. Cam Porter, 18, 137, a touchdown. Dashin Reed, now that's the name right there. Dashin Reed, and he's a running back. Four for 92, one touchdown. He's got a long of 79. So they got a fella right there that can do one heck of a thing. Uh, and Ryan Bowe, who is QB3, one rush, 58 yards, one touchdown. Um, Now on the three touchdowns through the air, you got Hunter Welsing, 5 for 55, got a touchdown, long of 28. Now here's one, Drew Wagner. 3 for 48. His long is 40. Now, Griffin Wild has got 213 yards on 15 catches. He's actually got a long of 46. So they've got the ability to break out. And also Hayden Elgin, the second, 3 for 24, got a touchdown. They're one better. They've got 3 sacks, 15 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. Their leading tackler is Robert Fitzgerald, 27 tackles. Linebacker Mac Ulian, 21 tackles, 2 interceptions. So they've got a slightly better defense. Slightly better defense. Their offense, slightly better. I don't even know where to begin on this one. Oh, and let me check one other thing because penalties, they've got 14 for 100 yards in 3 games. You heard that right. They played 3 games, got 14 for 100 yards. And that'll slightly more disciplined team than UCLA. Not a little bit better of an offense, not by much. And a little bit better defense, not by much. Um, yeah, that's Northwestern. Now, before I get into this, to tell you why I was asking about, or why I was looking into the penalties for Northwestern, UCLA has got 30 penalties in 3 games. So they're averaging 10 penalties a game, 275 yards this season lost because of penalties. So 91 yards are lost a game average because of their penalties. That is how bad this team is undisciplined. So the first thing that Tim Skipper's is going to have to do is get this team to be disciplined. He's someone that's been in Western New Mexico. He had been a middle linebacker at Fresno State. Went from Western New Mexico to Sacramento State, to Fresno State, where, okay, then Colorado State, then Florida, UNLV, Central Michigan, back to Fresno State, now at UCLA as the interim head coach. He was hired on as special assistant to the head coach. I honestly, between these two coaches, between these two teams, I think Northwestern is going to come up as the less mediocre team of the two. I think they should be able to get the win and prove that they are less mediocre than UCLA. I think that's how this weekend's going to go with this game. You tell me what you think. I could be a little biased against them, but honestly, I just don't see anything else but that. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.